Alright, back with another video. I'm on my 30-minute break. I guess from the title of this, I don't know what the title of this video gonna be, because I usually use ChatGPT, but I know it's about me making another goal, a milestone. Because as I said in my last video, I ain't really been feeling, since I came off home time, I ain't really been feeling like driving stuff, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because it means that I done got my house basically to the way that I want it to be fully, to feel like home for me. So that's like the good thing. But the bad thing is having to go back to work, OTR, and be away from home for another 3 weeks. And as I said, my kids want me to be at home more, but I know that I have to fully be able to be a dad. I have to not be overworked. And I know if I go local, which I said in other videos, if I go local, I'm not gonna be able to be fully myself because I'm gonna be working so much. And when I come home, I'm just gonna have enough time just to watch a little bit of TV, take a shower, and go to sleep, and do it all over again. I don't want that. I like being able to have 5 days at home. Like I say with this job has local, but it's not enough money for me to be able to take care of my bills how I'm taking care of my bills. So I can't do that at the moment. But anyway, the next goal is the goal that I talked to my wife about, which is we talked about, which is getting 3 homes. As I said in previous videos, this house that I'm staying in right now is going to be our rental home. My next home me and my wife are going to get is going to be under her name, and that'll probably be our main house, and then we'll rent this first house out. The next house we get ain't gonna be like extra expensive, like extraordinary, all that. We want to be able to still pay for it without. We don't want to increase the bills just because our income might increase. So, and then when we get our forever home, we'll get another rental property, and so on and so forth. We might, by the time we get the third rental property, we might exchange the house we're living in now for a better home. I don't know, but right now the goal is to get 3 homes. The reason being is because my kids got goals. Or well, not goals. They got, they're young, but they have dreams of doing XYZ that might not pay them a lot of money. Being a teacher, that doesn't pay a lot of money as it should. So I'm like, okay, as always, I'll try to find a solution. All right, the solution is, instead of them having to worry about all these other bills that might be extra expensive by the time they get grown, they already have a house they can go to that's completely paid off, and they can pursue their dreams without having to worry about bills, so they won't have to make X amount of dollars. It's just something I'm spitballing, because like I said, their dreams might change. I don't try to knock their dreams, but I try to be realistic with them and let them know that, teachers don't make a lot of money. What I'm saying? Even though they have an important job, I tell them, like, you still could be a teacher, but try to go be a professor at a university. Something like that. I just try to give them the same thing, but try to make it, something different. Make you become a professor, teach college kids, make a lot of money, and then come back down and teach, children and something like that. Just try to give them like other ideas, without having to try to kill their dreams or something like that. Because I don't want them to be like me, working all the time and not being able to be fulfilled. If they want to have kids, they should be able to have kids without having to wait till they 40 years old and try to have kids, you know. I had seen something like a year or two ago, people shouldn't have kids if they're not rich. Then nobody will have no kids, you know what I'm saying, except the 1%. And then all they gonna do is create more asshole kids, and, you know what I'm saying, they'd really be, you know, so, yeah, it's just, this is something I've been thinking about, you know, like I said, something me and my wife talk about. This is another milestone to try to keep the energy, you know what I'm saying, because I got no choice, you know. The mortgage got to be paid, and like I said, I'm glad I got a cheap home. I'm trying to wipe out my debt as best as possible, but it's like you make so much money and you don't want to have to live a minimum. You shouldn't have to live a minimum lifestyle with all the money and stuff you're making. But if you want to be happy, it's like, man, either way it goes, it's like you're gonna either be happy. You're gonna either be happy paying, not being in debt, but wishing for XYZ, or you're going to have XYZ and then be wishing for less bills and more freedom. So either way it goes, a person can't be happy unless they rich, you know what I'm saying? And I'm striving to get the best of both worlds, you know. A lot of things that I used to feel like that was important eventually became less important to me, because when I was a kid or in high school, whatever, Jordans used to be one of my goals, getting 1 through 12, getting a Jordan clock and all that other stuff. And when I started getting that, you know what I'm saying, when I started getting Jordans and shoes and able to buy shoes every weekend or every Saturday, like the other kids, you know, that had parents with money, it became like, man, once you get the shoes, once you get it in your hand, it's less important. You know, now I got a full closet of shoes that I don't even wear. You know what I'm saying? I try to wear them before I won't feel like I'm just wasting money, or I didn't just waste money. Because I plan on passing my shoes to my sons anyway, so it's not pointless, because my oldest son, he likes Jordan, so, you know what I'm saying? But eventually, and hopefully, he feels the same way that I did, that it really was pointless, you know. And I try to teach him, try to give him that knowledge ahead of time that I learned, like, hey, eventually this is not gonna really be as important as you thought it was. He parked all the way over there. God dang. People can't drive, bro. He used all that space. But hopefully get out the way before my 30-minute break is over with. I'm not gonna drop this video too long. Comment down below, you know what I'm saying? Have you reached your goals, or have you made a new goal? All that good stuff. If you made it this far, please consider like, comment, subscribing, and thanks for watching.